Okay, this will be the last video for section 1.1. There are a couple more equations I'd like to look at with you. In example 3, we have the equation P equals 2L plus 2W. You might recognize that as the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. P is perimeter, L is the length, and W is the width for that rectangle. And so normally, when we see this formula, we have it solved for P. That's how it is right now. But we could solve for one of the other unknown quantities if we choose, like L or W. In this case, we're asked to solve for L. And so what that means is isolate L on one side of the equation. And we'll follow a similar process to what we learned in the previous examples. If we want to get L by itself, then the first thing we should do is we should take the 2W and we should subtract that term to the other side of the equation. So let's subtract 2W on both sides. And then we're left with P minus 2W on the left and 2L on the right. If we want to get L by itself, then we can just divide off the 2 on both sides, and we have P minus 2W over 2 is equal to L, because those 2's canceled. Usually when we write our solution, we put the variable that we've solved for on the left, so it might be nice just to switch the two sides and write L is equal to P minus 2W over 2. And then that would be great. That would be the final answer. Or you could go another step and you could distribute the 2 in the denominator to each term in the numerator. And then you would have P divided by 2 minus 2W divided by 2. And if you do that, then the nice thing about that is you can cancel the 2 in the numerator and the denominator, and you're just left with P over 2 minus W. So here we have solved the equation for L in terms of P and W. Okay, let's do one more similar to that. This time let's solve for Y in this equation that we're given. And actually, I would like to change the problem just slightly. I had a little mistake there. I'd like to have 3y there on the right hand side. Okay, so if we're going to solve for y, then we should distribute the 2 and multiply that 2 by y, and then multiply that 2 by a, and then just bring down the rest of the equation. And then if we're going to solve for y, let's group the y terms together on the left. That would be minus 3y on both sides. And let's also go ahead and put the 2a over to the right-hand side. So we're going to add 2a to cancel with that minus 2a. And that plus b should go over to the right-hand side as well. And so we should subtract b from both sides. B's cancel there on the left side. What are we left with? We're left with 2y minus 3y, which is negative y, is equal to, and then on the right-hand side, a plus 2a is 3a minus b. And we should divide off a negative 1. So that we have y alone on the left. And then when we distribute the negative 1 to each term in the numerator, we have 3a divided by negative 1 would give you negative 3a. Negative b divided by negative 1 would give you plus b. So you could write your answer negative 3a plus b. Or if you prefer, you could write b minus 3a, and of course that would be the same thing. Okay, that's all for section 1.1.